You've probably heard this 100 times. Nuts are good for your heart, your brain, your body. And that's mostly true, but here's what almost no one tells you. Some of the most common nuts in your kitchen pantry might actually be doing the opposite. Yes, even the ones labeled as natural, heart-healthy, or doctor-recommended. If you're over 60, your body doesn't process food the way it used to. Your metabolism slows, your arteries stiffen, and even small mistakes, like choosing the wrong kind of nut, can quietly contribute to inflammation, blood pressure spikes, or cognitive decline. One of my patients once told me, "I stopped eating junk food. Now I just snack on nuts." 3 months later, her cholesterol had worsened, her joints hurt more than ever, and her energy levels had dropped. What happened? She was unknowingly eating the wrong nuts every single day. The scary part is, this isn't rare. I've seen it over and over again. Seniors trying to eat better, doing their best, but getting tripped up by foods that look healthy on the outside, but hide risks beneath the surface. So before you grab another handful of that trail mix, let me show you what's really inside. Because some nuts are powerful allies for longevity, while others can quietly work against everything you're trying to protect. And the difference? It's just one small choice a day. Stay with me. In today's video, we're going to separate the facts from the fads. I'll walk you through 4 nuts you should absolutely be eating if you're over 60, because they help support brain health, heart function, joint mobility, and even sleep quality. And just as importantly, I'll show you the 4 nuts that you may want to avoid or eat with caution, because they're packed with hidden calories, pro-inflammatory oils, or even naturally occurring toxins that most people don't know about. One of them, nut number 3 on the avoid list, is particularly sneaky. It shows up in trail mixes, nut butters, even energy bars, and yet, studies have linked it to liver damage and long-term cognitive decline. And most alarming of all, it only takes a small amount, over time, to start causing harm. So here's my question to you. Have you ever eaten a healthy snack, only to find yourself feeling bloated, sluggish, or foggy later? If that's ever happened to you, or if you're not sure, drop a quick comment below and type yes. If you've always trusted your snack choices, just type NO. Your feedback helps me make better videos and helps other seniors in this community learn from real experiences. And while you're here, don't forget to tap that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon, so you'll always get videos like this, practical, science-based, and designed specifically for adults over 60 who want to stay sharp, mobile, and independent for years to come. Because what you snack on today doesn't just fill your stomach. It fuels your energy, affects your memory, and shapes how you age. And now, it's time to find out. Are your favorite nuts truly helping you, or slowly hurting you? Let's start with one of the most popular nuts in the world. You'll find it in everything from almond milk to granola bars, trail mixes to energy bites. But does it really deserve its reputation as a super nut? Let's talk about almonds, the heart's best friend. Now that we've uncovered the hidden risks behind some everyday nuts, let's shift our focus to the ones that truly deserve a place in your daily routine, especially if you're over 60. These 4 nuts aren't just tasty, they're therapeutic. Backed by decades of nutritional science and real-world experience with seniors, these are the kinds of foods that work with your body, not against it. They help protect your heart, support brain function, fight inflammation, strengthen bones, and even improve sleep, all without the need for pills or complicated diets. In fact, the right kind of nut, eaten in the right amount, can often do what medications try to do, but without the side effects. Over the years, I've seen older adults who were struggling with fatigue, blood sugar spikes, or poor digestion feel noticeably better just by swapping out one snack a day. That's the power of nutrient-dense food. So, if you're ready to snack smarter, not just for pleasure, but for longevity, let's dive into the top 4 nuts that your heart, brain, and body will thank you for. And the first one? You've likely seen it everywhere, but you might not realize just how powerful it really is. 1. Almonds, the heart's best friend. Let's begin with a nut that's likely sitting in your pantry right now. It's been turned into milk, butter, flour, and snack bars. You've probably sprinkled it over your oatmeal or grabbed a handful between meals. But what many don't realize is that almonds are far more than just a snack. They're one of nature's most powerful protectors for the aging heart. You may think, it's just a nut. But at your age, it's never just a nut. Almonds are brimming with monounsaturated fats, the kind that actively lowers bad LDL cholesterol while raising good HDL levels. That's crucial for anyone over 60, especially if you've been told you have borderline or high cholesterol. I've worked with many seniors over the years who saw real improvements in their lipid profiles just by adding one small handful of almonds to their daily routine. But their benefits don't stop at cholesterol. Almonds are also rich in magnesium, a mineral that often flies under the radar, but is absolutely essential for maintaining healthy blood pressure, regulating blood sugar, and supporting strong muscle and nerve function. Sadly, magnesium deficiency is extremely common among older adults, and it often shows up as fatigue, muscle cramps, and even irregular heart rhythms. A single ounce of almonds contains nearly 80 milligrams of magnesium. That's a meaningful contribution to your daily needs, especially from something as simple as a snack. From a digestive standpoint, almonds also provide a solid dose of fiber, which helps combat constipation, something that affects nearly 40% of seniors. I've had clients who used to rely on laxatives every week, only to discover that a daily handful of almonds helped restore natural, regular bowel movements. And let's not forget what almonds can do for your skin. They're packed with vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant that protects cells from oxidative stress, reduces inflammation, and may help preserve skin elasticity and moisture as you age. It's no coincidence that many anti-aging skin creams contain almond oil, because the nutrients inside the nut are just that good. Eating them regularly nourishes your skin from the inside out. Now, here's something most people overlook. Not all of the fat in almonds is absorbed by the body. That means the calorie count on the label is often higher than what your body actually stores. This makes almonds a rare case of being both energy-dense and waistline-friendly when eaten in moderation. So what's the right amount? 1 ounce per day, or about 23 whole almonds? That's enough to deliver the health benefits without going overboard on calories. But here's a tip from experience. Go for raw or dry roasted varieties, not the ones coated in honey, yogurt, or chocolate. Those versions might taste great, but they often contain added sugars and oils that cancel out the benefits you're hoping for. I've also seen some seniors struggle with chewing harder nuts due to dental issues or dentures. If that's you, try soaking almonds in warm water overnight to soften them. They'll still retain their nutritional value while being much easier to eat. And here's the bottom line. Almonds don't just support heart health. They actively fight against the leading causes of death in older adults. If there's one small, easy upgrade you can make to your daily habits that has the potential to lower your blood pressure, improve cholesterol, boost digestive health, and keep your skin looking vibrant, it's adding almonds to your diet. Now, if almonds are the heart's best friend, then the next nut on our list just might be your brain's strongest ally. Let's talk about walnuts, and why they're shaped like a brain for a reason. 2. Walnuts, the brain booster. Now that we've taken care of your heart with almonds, let's move one floor up to your brain. After the age of 60, your memory, mood, and mental clarity become as important as your physical strength. And there's one nut, often overlooked, that looks like the brain, and just so happens to nourish it better than almost any other food: walnuts. Rich in alpha-linolenic acid, or ALA, a plant-based omega-3 fatty acid, walnuts serve as natural fuel for your brain cells. They help maintain the structure and flexibility of your neurons, enhance communication between brain regions, and reduce the low-grade inflammation that can quietly damage cognitive function over time. I've seen firsthand how older adults who introduce just a small amount of walnuts into their routine often report feeling more alert, less anxious, and even sleeping better within weeks. Research backs this up. One study from the Journal of Nutrition found that seniors who ate walnuts daily for 8 weeks improved their cognitive flexibility and processing speed, skills essential for staying sharp, adaptable, and independent as we age. But it doesn't stop with omega-3s. Walnuts also contain polyphenol, powerful antioxidants that cross the blood-brain barrier and neutralize free radicals directly inside your brain tissue. These compounds are vital because oxidative stress and chronic inflammation are among the leading causes of age-related memory decline and neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. If you've ever found yourself walking into a room and forgetting why, or searching for a word that's on the tip of your tongue, it might not just be aging. It might be silent inflammation in your brain. Walnuts help calm that storm. What's more, walnuts contain a natural source of melatonin, the hormone that governs your sleep cycle. As we grow older, our body's production of melatonin declines, which is why so many seniors struggle with insomnia or light, unrefreshing sleep. Just a few walnuts in the evening can gently support your circadian rhythm, helping you fall asleep faster and sleep more soundly, without the need for pills. And because walnuts are also high in arginine, they promote nitric oxide production, improving blood flow, not just to the heart, but to the brain. That means better oxygen and nutrient delivery, which translates into improved focus, energy, and even mood stability. For best results, aim for about 1 ounce per day, roughly 7 to 9 walnut halves. Choose raw walnuts if you can, and store them in the refrigerator to protect their delicate oils from turning rancid. If their slight bitterness bothers you, try lightly roasting them or soaking them overnight to enhance their flavor and texture. Many of my clients find that cracking walnuts from the shell not only keeps them fresh longer, but also gives their hands a small workout, which is great for joint health and fine motor control. Yes, they're calorie-dense, but their benefits for cognitive health, emotional well-being, and even better sleep far outweigh their energy content. So if almonds are the heart's best friend, then walnuts are without a doubt the brain's strongest ally. Don't overlook this wrinkled little nut. It might be the key to staying mentally young, even as the years go by. And now that we've covered heart and brain health, let's turn to something most seniors ask me about every week: how to enjoy snacking without gaining weight or spiking blood sugar. The answer might surprise you. It's small, green, and comes in a shell. Let's talk about pistachios. 3. Pistachios, the weight and vision hero. Let's be honest, most seniors I meet still want to enjoy snacking. The crunch, the flavor, the comfort. But what they don't want is to gain unnecessary weight, spike their blood sugar, or feel guilty after eating something they enjoy. That's why pistachios are such a valuable discovery for older adults. They let you snack with pleasure, without compromising your health. Pistachios are one of the few nuts that strike an ideal balance between flavor and function. At just about 160 calories per ounce, roughly 49 kernels, they offer more volume per serving than almost any other nut. That matters, especially when you're trying to feel full without overeating. And from my years of experience working with older adults, satiety, or that sense of satisfaction after eating, is crucial for preventing late-night grazing and unnecessary weight gain. But there's more to pistachios than just calorie math. They contain a powerful trio of protein, fiber, and healthy fats, which work together to stabilize blood sugar, keep you feeling full longer, and reduce cravings for processed snacks. That's especially important for seniors managing diabetes, prediabetes, or metabolic slowdown. What's truly fascinating, though, is how the act of eating pistachios slows you down. Shelling each one by hand creates a mindful pace that gives your brain time to register fullness. In fact, studies show that people who eat in-shell pistachios consume up to 40% fewer calories than those who eat the shelled kind, without even realizing it. It's a simple trick that naturally supports portion control. But pistachios aren't just a weight management tool. They're also a gift to your eyes. These little green gems are one of the richest natural sources of lutein and zeaxanthin, two antioxidants that concentrate in the retina and help protect against age-related macular degeneration, the leading cause of vision loss in people over 65. And here's the thing: you don't feel vision damage until it's already well underway. That's why prevention is so critical. Adding pistachios to your routine is a delicious way to shield your eyes from oxidative damage caused by aging, blue light, and environmental stress. Pistachios also support heart health, just like almonds and walnuts. Their monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats help reduce LDL cholesterol while improving HDL. Plus, the potassium content in pistachios, about 285 milligrams per ounce, makes them especially helpful for supporting healthy blood pressure, particularly for those trying to reduce sodium intake. And here's a practical bonus. Unlike harder nuts that can be tough on dental work or sensitive gums, pistachios are naturally softer and easier to chew. That makes them an excellent choice for seniors with dental implants, partials, or chewing limitations. Just remember, go for unsalted or lightly salted varieties. Many commercial pistachio products come heavily seasoned with sodium, sugar, or artificial flavors that completely negate the health benefits. If you enjoy a little flavor, Try roasting your own at home with a pinch of sea salt and a dash of turmeric or cinnamon for an anti-inflammatory boost. So, if you're looking for a snack that helps you manage your weight, protect your eyes, support your heart, and keep you satisfied without guilt, pistachios are a near-perfect choice. Simple, tasty, and smart. Snack intentionally, not mindlessly, and your body will reward you. Now, we've talked about heart, brain, weight, and vision, but there's still one system we haven't touched yet, and it's one that becomes increasingly fragile as we age: your thyroid. There's a single nut that supports it better than anything else found in nature, but eat just a few too many, and it could backfire. Let's explore the powerhouse and the caution behind Brazil nuts. 4. Brazil nuts, the thyroid shield. We've talked about your heart, your brain, your waistline, and even your eyes. But there's one more system that quietly governs nearly everything else: your metabolism, your mood, your energy, even your temperature regulation. I'm talking about your thyroid. And for older adults, especially those over 60, supporting thyroid function becomes more important and more overlooked than ever. That's where Brazil nuts come in. They may not be as popular as almonds or pistachios, but in the world of micronutrients, they're royalty. Just one Brazil nut contains over 90 micrograms of selenium, a trace mineral your body needs in very small amounts, but cannot produce on its own. Selenium is absolutely essential for activating thyroid hormones, particularly the conversion of T4 inactive to T3 active, which powers everything from how fast you burn calories to how clearly you think. As someone who has worked with many seniors suffering from unexplained fatigue, weight gain, thinning hair, or brain fog, I always look at thyroid health, and selenium intake is often part of the missing puzzle. Brazil nuts are the richest natural food source of selenium on the planet. That's both their magic and their warning. Because while selenium is vital, too much of it can become toxic, especially in older adults whose liver and kidney detox pathways may not be as efficient. That's why with Brazil nuts, more is not better. 1 to 2 nuts per day is plenty. In fact, that's often more than enough to meet your daily selenium needs. I've had patients who unknowingly snacked on handfuls of Brazil nuts thinking they were healthy, only to develop symptoms of selenium excess: brittle nails, gastrointestinal distress, and in rare cases, nerve sensitivity. So, think of Brazil nuts not as a snack, but as a supplement in whole food form. When used wisely, they offer incredible support for thyroid balance, immune function, and even cellular repair. Selenium also works synergistically with vitamin E, which Brazil nuts also contain, helping fight oxidative stress and reduce inflammation, key factors in managing chronic disease and slowing the aging process. What's more, selenium may play a role in protecting telomeres, the caps on the ends of your chromosomes that shorten as we age. Shorter telomeres have been linked to faster cellular aging. Preliminary research suggests that adequate selenium levels may help preserve telomere length, potentially impacting longevity itself. For those with digestive challenges, Brazil nuts offer an added benefit. Their healthy fats and mild fiber content can help ease constipation gently while delivering sustained energy. And their creamy, slightly sweet texture makes them a satisfying addition to your daily routine. Still, I strongly recommend buying raw or lightly toasted Brazil nuts from trusted sources and storing them in the refrigerator or freezer to preserve their delicate oils and prevent rancidity. Avoid salted, sugar-coated, or chocolate-dipped versions. These additives cancel out the very benefits you're looking for. So here's the bottom line. If you want to support your thyroid, boost immunity, and protect your aging cells, Brazil nuts can be your natural ally. But treat them with the same respect you'd give any powerful supplement. 1 or 2 a day? No more. At this point, you've learned the 4 best nuts to include in your diet after 60, each one with its own unique power to support longevity and well-being. But now, we need to shift gears. Because while some nuts nourish and protect your health, others, unfortunately, can silently sabotage it. And the next one we're about to discuss? It may be the most deceptive of all. Let's take a closer look at macadamia nuts and why this buttery indulgence might be doing more harm than you think. Now that we've uncovered the 4 most beneficial nuts to nourish your heart, brain, metabolism, and thyroid, it's time we talk about the other side of the coin, the nuts that can quietly work against your health if you're not careful. You see, not every natural food is automatically safe or smart, especially as we age. Some nuts, despite being popular and even labeled as healthy, can be loaded with excess calories, inflammatory oils, hidden sugars, or compounds that stress the liver, kidneys, or digestive system. For younger adults, the body might handle that burden. But for people over 60, with slower metabolism and more sensitive systems, these harmless snacks can contribute to weight gain, blood pressure spikes, insulin resistance, or even nutrient malabsorption. And in my clinical experience, it's not that older adults eat too much. It's that they eat the wrong things too often, thinking they're good choices. That's why in the next section, we're going to explore 4 nuts that you should either avoid or eat with very specific boundaries. And the first one? It's buttery, beloved, and often seen as a luxury nut. But for seniors, it can quietly derail your health goals. 1. Macadamia, the deceptive delight. Let's start this cautionary list with a nut that seems harmless, almost elegant, even. With its creamy texture and buttery taste, macadamia often carries the image of a luxurious, health-forward snack. You'll find it in trail mixes, upscale cookie recipes, and gourmet nut assortments. But beneath that silky exterior lies a nutritional profile that deserves a second look, especially for seniors. At roughly 200 calories per ounce, macadamias are the most calorie-dense nut available. While some of that comes from healthy monounsaturated fats, the sheer concentration of fat and energy can easily tip your daily intake over the edge without you realizing it. I've seen clients who were carefully managing their weight or cholesterol levels plateau, or even backtrack, simply because they were snacking on macadamias every afternoon. They weren't eating too much overall. They were eating too much of this. Beyond the calories, macadamia nuts are also low in protein and fiber, 2 key components that help you feel full and maintain muscle mass after age 60. That means you're consuming high energy without the nutrients that help you burn it efficiently. For seniors trying to preserve lean muscle, manage blood sugar, or support gut health, this imbalance matters more than ever. What makes matters worse is how easy it is to overeat them. Macadamias are soft and rich, meaning they go down quickly, with very little chewing required. Unlike almonds or walnuts, which take effort to crunch and signal fullness more effectively, macadamias can slip past your hunger cues before your body has time to say enough. A small bowl can turn into 300 to 400 calories in minutes. Another concern? Commercially packaged macadamia nuts are often roasted in oils and loaded with salt or sugar. These added ingredients can further increase the risk of elevated blood pressure, water retention, or even joint inflammation, issues that older adults already tend to face. And let's not forget the dental factor. While they're softer than other nuts, macadamias are still dense, and I've had patients with crowns or dental implants who crack teeth or stress their bites simply by snacking too fast or biting into a hidden hard nut in a mix. Does this mean macadamias are inherently bad? Not necessarily, but they're a classic example of a food that looks healthier than it is, and one that must be approached with awareness and portion control. If you love macadamias, I recommend treating them more like a garnish than a snack. Chop a few and sprinkle them over a salad. Blend 1 or 2 into a smoothie, or mix them into a larger batch of heart-healthy nuts like pistachios or almonds to dilute the impact. And most importantly, pre-portion them. Never eat straight from the bag. If you're aiming for intentional eating after 60, that step alone can make all the difference. In short, macadamias may be indulgent, but they're not innocent. For seniors concerned about weight, blood sugar, or cardiovascular health, this is one nut to enjoy sparingly and never mindlessly. Now, if macadamia is the hidden calorie trap, the next nut is an even greater concern. It's not technically a tree nut at all. In fact, it belongs to the legume family and brings with it not just potential allergens, but also invisible toxins and inflammatory triggers. Let's talk about peanuts and why they may be doing far more harm than good. 2. Peanuts, the hidden 3. Next on the list is a nut that isn't technically a nut at all, peanuts. They're actually legumes, from the same botanical family as beans and lentils. And while they may be one of the most affordable and widely consumed nuts in the world, peanuts carry a set of hidden risks that are especially relevant for older adults. First and foremost, peanuts are one of the top food allergens worldwide, and reactions aren't limited to childhood. I've worked with older adults who developed peanut sensitivities later in life, experiencing symptoms ranging from mild inflammation and digestive upset to more serious immune responses. The aging immune system becomes less adaptive, and sometimes, foods that were once well tolerated begin to trigger unexpected issues. But beyond allergies, there's another reason I advise caution with peanuts: aflatoxins. These are naturally occurring toxic compounds produced by molds that can grow on peanuts during storage, especially in warm, humid environments. Even in small amounts, aflatoxins have been linked to liver damage and increased cancer risk. And while food safety regulations help limit exposure, they can't eliminate it entirely, especially in imported or bulk-purchased peanuts. For seniors with reduced liver function, slower detox pathways, or already managing chronic conditions, this toxic burden adds up. Another issue? Peanuts are high in omega-6 fatty acids. While not inherently bad, omega-6 must be balanced with anti-inflammatory omega-3s. Unfortunately, most Western diets are already heavy on omega-6 and lacking in omega-3s. This imbalance promotes systemic inflammation, a major factor in conditions like arthritis, heart disease, and even cognitive decline. I've seen it in my own clients: joint stiffness, blood pressure fluctuations, and skin flare-ups that improve simply by cutting back on peanut consumption and increasing omega-3-rich foods. And let's talk about peanut butter, perhaps the most common way seniors consume peanuts daily. While some versions are made with nothing but ground peanuts, most commercial peanut butters are packed with hydrogenated oils, added sugars, and excessive salt. That turns what seems like a wholesome spread into a processed food that contributes to weight gain, insulin resistance, and arterial damage. I've had patients swap their morning toast topped with sweetened peanut butter for almond or walnut butter with a dash of cinnamon. And within weeks, they reported more stable energy, fewer cravings, and even slight weight loss. Storage is another hidden concern. Peanuts, due to their soft and oily texture, go rancid faster than many people realize. Improper storage leads to oxidation, further increasing the presence of free radicals in the body, compounds that accelerate aging and inflammation. So what's the takeaway? Peanuts aren't evil, but they're far from ideal, especially for those over 60 who are dealing with inflammation, liver strain, cardiovascular risk, or immune sensitivity. If you still enjoy peanuts, choose organic when possible, eat them in moderation, and avoid flavored or roasted varieties with added sugars or hydrogenated oils. And never eat them straight from large jars or bags. Pre-portioning matters more than you think. Better yet, consider replacing them with nuts that offer a better anti-inflammatory profile, like almonds, walnuts, or pumpkin seeds. If you're managing multiple health goals at once, the shift will likely pay off. Now, if peanuts bring concerns about mold and inflammation, the next nut on our list brings something even stranger, a side effect you can literally taste. It's small, expensive, and elegant, but it can leave your mouth bitter for days. Let's talk about pine nuts and the mysterious phenomenon known as pine mouth. 3. Pine nuts, the bitter surpri. Elegant, tiny, and often considered gourmet, pine nuts have long held a place in Mediterranean cooking and upscale recipes, from fresh pesto to artisan salads. But despite their culinary appeal, pine nuts carry a surprisingly bitter truth that many older adults, and even some doctors, aren't aware of. It's a condition called pine mouth. If you've never heard of it, you're not alone. But I've had patients describe the experience vividly: a persistent metallic or bitter taste in the mouth that lasts for days or even weeks after eating just a small handful of pine nuts. Coffee tastes like pennies. Fruit becomes sour. And the worst part? There's no known treatment except waiting it out. While not physically dangerous, pine mouth can drastically affect appetite and nutrition, especially in older adults. I've seen seniors skip meals or lose weight unintentionally simply because everything they ate tasted unpleasant. For people over 60, where appetite and taste already decline due to age, medications, or dental issues, this seemingly minor symptom can become a major health disruption. What causes pine mouth? Research points to certain species of pine nuts, particularly cheaper varieties sourced from China, which may contain compounds that trigger this lingering taste disturbance in sensitive individuals. Not everyone experiences it, but once you do, you won't forget it. That's why sourcing matters. If you do choose to eat pine nuts, look for Pinus pinea, the traditional Mediterranean variety, and avoid low-cost bulk options without origin labeling. But pine mouth isn't the only concern. Pine nuts are extremely high in polyunsaturated fats, which are prone to oxidation. That means if they're not stored properly, away from heat, light, and air, they can turn rancid quickly. Rancid oils generate free radicals, compounds that damage your cells and accelerate aging from the inside out. Older adults with reduced antioxidant defenses are particularly vulnerable to this kind of oxidative stress. And because pine nuts are small and soft, many people, especially those with dentures or weak chewing, tend to swallow them quickly, increasing the risk of aspiration or digestive discomfort. I've also seen cases where pine nuts triggered mild digestive upset or allergic responses in individuals who weren't typically allergic to tree nuts. The body's immune system changes with age, and sensitivity can emerge later in life. Another point to consider is nutrient density. Compared to other nuts, pine nuts are lower in protein and fiber, offering fewer benefits for blood sugar control, satiety, or muscle maintenance, all crucial factors for healthy aging. Their primary advantage lies in taste and texture, not in broad-spectrum nutrition. In that sense, pine nuts are more of a culinary accent than a daily dietary staple. So what's the bottom line? If you enjoy the flavor of pine nuts, use them wisely and sparingly. A tablespoon over a salad or stirred into whole grains is fine, but avoid snacking on them by the handful and never eat them without knowing their origin. Store them in the refrigerator or freezer to preserve their oils, and always discard them if they smell even slightly off. When it comes to pine nuts, quality and caution are far more important than quantity. Now, if pine nuts come with the risk of strange aftertaste and quick spoilage, the next nut on our list takes us in a completely different direction. It's often associated with the holidays, evokes cozy feelings, and feels comforting. But nutritionally, it might not be delivering what you think. Let's talk about chestnuts and why their sweet taste may be more of a starch than a superfood. 4. Chestnuts, the sweet misconception. Few foods stir up warm memories like chestnuts. Just the thought of them brings up images of cozy winter evenings, fireplaces crackling, and that familiar scent of roasted chestnuts in the air. They're beloved in holiday traditions, featured in classic songs, and often enjoyed as comfort food by older generations. But here's something most people don't realize. Chestnuts are not like other nuts, and nutritionally, they don't belong in the same category. While almonds, walnuts, pistachios, and others are celebrated for their heart-healthy fats, protein content, and anti-inflammatory compounds, chestnuts are mostly starch more similar to potatoes or grains than to typical nuts. In fact, over 80% of the calories in chestnuts come from carbohydrates, not fats or proteins. This means that while they're naturally sweet and soft, they lack the essential fats and amino acids that support senior health, particularly when it comes to heart function, muscle maintenance, and blood sugar stability. I've seen older adults add chestnuts to their diet thinking they're getting the same nutritional benefits as almonds or walnuts, only to experience unexpected blood sugar spikes, energy crashes, or issues with weight gain. For seniors managing diabetes or insulin resistance, this can be especially problematic. Because chestnuts are digested quickly, they cause a rapid rise in blood glucose, followed by a dip, something the aging body doesn't handle as smoothly as it once did. But blood sugar isn't the only concern. Chestnuts also lack protein and fiber, two nutrients critical for satiety, digestive health, and the preservation of lean muscle mass. As we age, losing muscle means losing independence, and every food choice matters. If your goal is to build strength, stabilize appetite, or manage chronic inflammation, chestnuts may leave you nutritionally shortchanged. That said, chestnuts do have some redeeming qualities. They're naturally low in fat, gluten-free, and offer modest amounts of vitamin C, potassium, and B vitamins. Their soft texture makes them easy to chew, which is helpful for seniors with dental limitations or trouble swallowing. They also blend well into soups, purees, and festive dishes. So are chestnuts bad? Not at all. But they should be treated more like a seasonal starch than a daily health nut. If you enjoy them, and many people genuinely do, consider pairing them with a source of healthy fat or protein to help buffer the blood sugar impact. A few roasted chestnuts alongside some turkey or tofu, or mixed into a quinoa salad with olive oil, can create a more balanced meal. And be mindful of portion size. Because they're sweet and easy to eat, it's tempting to snack on chestnuts mindlessly. But just like with rice or bread, too much can throw off your blood sugar and calorie balance quickly. Finally, keep an eye on freshness. Chestnuts have a high moisture content, which makes them more perishable than other nuts. Improper storage can lead to mold growth or spoilage. Always store fresh chestnuts in a cool, ventilated place and use them within a few weeks, or choose vacuum-packed versions with minimal additives. So while chestnuts may warm the heart with nostalgia, they don't offer the same nutritional support for longevity as the other nuts we've discussed. Think of them as a special treat, not a health staple. Now that we've walked through both sides of the nut spectrum, the best ones to eat and the ones to limit, it's time to bring it all together. Because knowing is one thing, but choosing well, consistently, is what transforms your health. Let's wrap up with a powerful reminder and a few simple takeaways you can start using today. We've just journeyed through the world of nuts, 8 different varieties, each with their own unique impact on your health after 60. Some, like almonds and walnuts, are nutritional powerhouses that protect your heart, sharpen your mind, and support your longevity in subtle but powerful ways. Others, like macadamias and chestnuts, may look innocent on the outside but quietly undermine your efforts to stay strong, stable, and energized. And then there are those like peanuts and pine nuts, popular, widely consumed, and yet hiding risks that most people don't even know exist. But now, you do know. And that knowledge is a form of power, especially as you age. Because the truth is, your body isn't just reacting to what you eat today, it's remembering. It's carrying the story of every snack, every habit, every bite you thought was harmless. And after 60, the margin for error becomes smaller, not bigger. Your body can no longer afford long-term inflammation, poor blood flow, or the slow accumulation of toxic burden. But the good news? It only takes small, smart changes to shift that trajectory. You don't need to overhaul your entire lifestyle. You don't need a complex diet or an expensive supplement. Sometimes, it's as simple as choosing almonds over peanuts, or adding one Brazil nut a day, or swapping flavored nut mixes for real, raw nourishment. Over the past decade, I've watched seniors transform their health just by making these subtle shifts, gaining energy, improving memory, sleeping better, even walking with more confidence. And that's the real goal here, not perfection, but progress. Not fear, but informed choice. Because what you eat doesn't just feed your body, it fuels your future. Now I'd love to hear from you. Out of all the nuts we've talked about today, which one surprised you the most? Which one are you planning to add or remove from your daily routine? Drop your answer in the comments below. I read every one of them, and your story could help someone else just like you. And if you found this video helpful, please hit the like button to let the algorithm know it's worth sharing. Don't forget to subscribe and tap the bell icon so you never miss another video built specifically for people who want to age with strength, clarity, and confidence. Because this is just one of many small upgrades you can make, whether it's with food, movement, or mindset. You're not too late. You're not too old. And your body isn't beyond repair. In fact, it's probably waiting for the first time you choose something not because it's convenient, but because it's right. Let this video be that turning point. Let this be the moment you stopped eating by habit and started eating by purpose. Because you deserve to feel better. You deserve to live well. And it can all start with something as simple as what you hold in the palm of your hand. One small handful. One smart choice. Every single day.